Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT is here. It's time to get ready for week number 5 in the live summit event in the Crew 2 Hypercars Plains. This is going to be a theme event will be characterized with its hypercar and street racing events, including skills, will be taking place in the countryside and desert areas. So I've been working so hard to get all the currency credits to be stacking up, and I'm at icon 987 before it reaches up towards 1000. But it is pretty challenging to stack things up. We'll be getting a lot of good currency credits to get all new kinds of vehicles will be eligible to participate. So if you really want to enjoy watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some more videos if you like. Feel free to enjoy anytime you want for the entertainment. Now it's time to get ready to start the live summit event, and let's begin. So how's everything going on out there in stage 5 of the US Speed Tour East from Santa Fe to Pikes Peak? It was so good out there for the rallycross discipline. We'll be taking a starting point to be on the dirt from Arch Park Trail. We'll be going up the north to be on the asphalt to be at the starting line to be in the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. We'll be doing a special. For the event bundle, in about 20% off and about over 3.4 million bucks to be available by the purchase. So we have 2 hypercars, 1 street race discipline will be recommended to participate. So let's take a good look. First up, we have a Porsche 911 GT1 Stratsim version type 993 in the year model of 1996. 544 horsepower and a top speed of 190 miles per hour. And this one is a very good choice to have a nice road car vehicle to be suited as a race car to be on the track. Speaking of which, this one is going to be well chosen to be in Gran Turismo 7 to be on the PS5 platform. But there is a fact, it's going to be on the cross-gen bundle to be in the PlayStation 4 as well. So this one is going to be quite giving a good interesting notice to have this vehicle to be in the game for every Gran Turismo players. But thank goodness, this vehicle is going to be well chosen to be in the Crew 2. Next up, the Bmw C4 M40i in the year model of 2019. 335 horsepower and the top speed of 155 miles per hour was part of the agency update. To be giving a good standard addition to be giving a nice exterior parts to be well customized for having a 2-door roadster vehicle. And last but not least, the Bugatti La Voyageur Noir in the year model of 2019 with a horsepower of 1600. But it doesn't show the top speed, but it might be possible to be installed with a part that might give a good guess. But this one is very luxury to have a nice high performance hypercar to be giving a good ways to try it out. But it looks very good to be colored in black, and that one might give a good taste of a wonderful performance to be giving a good nice tire type is going to be quite giving a good rim style. Alright, looks like this one might give a good purchase selection, and that one might give some applied parts to be equipped as well. Final purchase, and let's go in to participate. So once again folks, this one might have a platinum rank to be at 42nd place to be giving a good reward set to be collected. So right now, Dallas run is finished, and now it's time to get ready to go fast to participate in Hypercar Plains. That one might give a good endurance energy line tires to be added up onto your collection. So let's go over to have some different set of rewards for the event. We'll be having 150,000 followers, exterior parts for the Bmw C4 M40i for the 2019 model. Go for the legendary parts to be boosted for only 1 pack onto the gearbox, and that means a speed vortex smokes to be on the rare affinity item that might give a good effect is going to be quite going awesome out there. Here we go folks, we got more events on street race and hypercar disciplines will be settled in, including 2 types of disciplines to be flying in onto the air, and the off-road will be having an escape. So that one might have New Mexico will be going up the road, will be giving a best place to be having a nice rally rate to go faster. But anyway, the terrain is going to get much rough out there, viewers. Just going to have to keep a good eyes on the prize and have that new record set to be achieved for only a possible chance to be reached up over to be at 100,000 points. So sit back and wait until the loading time is about to be complete, and that one might give a good ways to drive on over. Just gonna have to switch to a different vehicle and grab the rally raid discipline to get settled in. Gonna have to grab my Jeep Moab concept. It's gonna be going faster to be on a high pace. There you are. Now let's go in there and enter the orange gate. We'll have to go on for having an increased distance. Take that jump and drive away. Okay, looks like this is going to get much tricky out there. Try not to hit the rocks. Almost there to be reached up by over 11,000 yards. There you go. Looks like this might have to keep going. But the red radius is going to get much increased simultaneously. Come on. Just going to have to give that extra push. There you go. This one might give a good feel. Bad news is, the red zone is going to get much increasing in. Okay, looks like 3,419 yards is going to be giving a thumbs up to be complete. Almost there to be at 100,000 points, so I have to go again. This is going to be quite doing much possible out there. We'll be doing some quick prep onto the parts switched. So anyway, I'm just going to have to take a good preview look on the performance. So I guess I just put all of it in legendary parts to be giving a good exact organized fit. So I have to switch the parts from the Proto Dune Buggy to be quick over onto the Quicksand concept, so that one might give a good extra nitrous. We'll have to go for the Nitro Chemist. Okay, let's try again for attempt number 2. Gotta make sure this one might give a good extended amount of duration to be used to nitro. Just gonna have to keep a little bit more drift. It's gonna be nighttime, so that one might give headlights to be turned on to give a nice view. That's more like it. So it looks like I have to take on this player's record time, because this is going to get much longer. We'll be doing extended. Come on. Just going to have to keep a good boost. Taking the open field is going to be much further distance. Will get much longer. Oh boy, gonna have to get past by that building. And looks like so far so close. 3,759 yards is gonna be well established to be on the new record set. Alright, looks like that's one down and one legendary part to be earned. That wasn't so bad without putting up with some legendary parts to be equipped with a Nitro Chemist. Now on to skill number 2, taking a low altitude at New Mexico. Air race discipline is going to be the only recommendation for the next list, so auto switch vehicle, and I'm still probably might have to be using onto the Proto A500 is going to be on the stopping point. Okay, looks like just to air race. Okay. Harman Rocket HR3, do your best. This one might give a good low altitude position to be going in for having a rocky terrain. Gonna have to stay steady. That's more like it. It's gonna get a little bit harder out there. Gonna have to keep things up and watch out to give a little bit touch and go. That was so close. I should probably have to do the opposite direction. That should be good enough. 12,888 points. So let's see the outcome summary. Okay, looks like this one might give a new record for only 100,000 points to be reached over. So now it's time to get ready to go on for a speed trap to be in Santa Fe. Gonna have to quick grab my Corvette C7 dragster, will be at the go. So this one might give a good perfect advantage to be on the full straightaway by over a quarter mile by having a distance. So clearly, any dragsters, that one might give a good place to be recommended to choose any direction whenever you like to pick. But it is definitely might be on the curved straightaway when entered in onto Santa Fe. Just gonna have to give a good scouting point onto the DeLorean. We'll be giving a best. Okay, now just gonna have to go over to the main menu. Switch again. Doing up the drag race. Just gonna have to take a quick preview look on the performance. Okay, looks like still the same, and I'm about to be accepted. Okay, let's just gonna have to rev things up and going in for having a burn. That should be good enough. Now, that one might give a good straightaway, that one might give a good possible chance. Okay, looks like 300.6 miles per hour. That's very good news. Almost there to be at 100,000 points. So attempt number 2 is going to be putting up onto the next list. We'll be get settled in to take much practice. How about this position that might be quite going good? Whoa. It looks like one player just passed me before I'm about to be ready to start. But anyway, one player at a time, that will might take the number. Hit the nitro and... wow, that was so quick and close call. Literally, that was so close. A record set to be achieved by the outcome, and one rare suspension to be received as a small reward. Okay, looks like this is going to be going well for having 3 skills to be complete. Now for 6 events for the street race and hypercar discipline, so this one might have 4 hypercars to be giving a good place to be settled in. But maybe I should probably have to take the first 2 events on the street race discipline is going to be giving a best position out there. So starting out to be on the Bmw C4 M40i to be at Big Bend. That one might give a good sprint race, is going to be giving a point to point. We'll be doing A to B by having an excellent course for only 1 lap, for having a long distance, for having a short amount. But luckily, the performance level is going to be going increased to be having up with a nitro chemist to be at 280. And that means for the Bmw C4 M40i with a horsepower of 700 and a top speed of 226 miles per hour. Here I come, folks. Looks like this one might take a new opportunity. We'll be going faster in a 2-door convertible car. We'll be going faster to the limit.
3, 2.
Let's get it on and go faster to be on the high pace.
Fingers are crossed.
Wonderful head start. Feels the speed of a high-speed roadster is going to be taking on for having a good action performance. Gonna have to stay on over to be on the road because this one might take much possible to do a little bit cool down time will be going increased. So I have to take my time. Checkpoint clear. Just gonna have to do a much perfect fine corner out there to be staying on the route. Halfway there in 50%. Here comes the next turn. Gonna have to make a right. So take a good look at the interior view. Looks very good to have a nice open view out there to be having a roadster style is going to be giving a nice rooftop to be covered up on it. only in the rain time in reality, because in a game, this is definitely might be giving a best place to be driving around on the sunset. But it looks very good and very stylish for a 2019 model. Okay, looks like it's almost to get full. Gonna have to keep using it. But you know what about this course? It was excellent to be as a mountain pass. Giving some excellent turns by doing some drifts and having some ordinary street race for only a one-on-one. Just like having a Kaido battle from Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift. But yeah, it was very good to have a nostalgia whenever it comes in to do a drift battle. Come on, just gonna have to go up onto the higher pace. 85% on the progression. Finish line is just up ahead. Wow. Looks like this is going to be quite giving a good reference back from the first installment of the crew. A celebratory dash. Well, looks like it was a lot of fun out there. Oh man, it looks like I cannot believe it. Do you ever see that? I almost dared to be reached up at Icon 999. So I have to go again. This time I have to go again to be putting up with a catch-up follow-up we'll be doing as well. Optionally, this roadster is very good to have a nice high performance just like the Bentley Bacular Millennium.
3, 2,
Gonna have to go on the higher rev and make sure this one might take a good nitro boost. We'll be doing amount of extended.
You're gonna win this easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Full speed up ahead. Gotta make sure if I could probably have to ace this course. Checkpoint clear. Now just gonna have to save a plenty amount of nitro. Slow down, pull the brake. Very challenging, that might give a good possible chance. Okay, this one is going to be much tricky to be pulled in. Alright, now just going to have to resume the speed. Going in for a little bit uphill. Okay, very good to have that drift. Halfway there, folks. Gonna have to beat my time for having an outcome, but the steady will have to go in by the inside on every corners by the pass. Checkpoint clear. Only 30% to go on the progression by the remaining. This course is going to be giving a good similarities that this one is going to be on the reverse. However, in the Crew 1, it is also to be as the forward course section of the track, but it may be quite giving some similarities by the differences. But anyway, in the Crew 2, this course is going to be quite giving a different route, is going to be giving much interesting. So let's see how it turns out. If I could probably have to master this course, it's going to be very challenging to go on a faster pace. Okay, here it goes. Alright, 2 minutes and 34.903 seconds. Gonna have to make a stop here at the street, and there you go. That one might give a new record to be reached up by the maximum. Wow. Feels like having 2 attempts for only 1 full segment is going to be barely worked out. 1 street race complete. Now it's time to go in for another street race. Will be taking place in Central Woods to Armalo. We'll be ready to have a nice recommendation supercar will be suitable to be using with the Lamborghini Gallardo LP574 Superleggera is now going to be giving a fast performance to be switched out to be equipped with a Nitro Chemist to be in a different category. So I hope this is going to be giving a best supercar to be going faster to have a nice all-wheel drive just like the Huracan. So I'm about to choose this vehicle and get ready to be on the starting grid to be in last place. I hope this is going to be quite doing a remarkable moment out there. So let's do this.
Listen to the engine. It's saying, let's win.
First place by having a good head start. Now this is going to be giving a best running route out there. We'll be having another sprint race. Just gonna pass in and make a checkpoint clear. Almost there. Just gonna have to keep a good steady focus on the handling. So yeah, this is gonna be the best car to be climbing up onto the top ranks, folks. The Lamborghini Gallardo is gonna be quite doing a good moment out there to be taking a good high speed rev to be doing a good limit. Just gonna have to sit back and keep going focused on the main road. Putting up with a little bit nitro. The sweet sound of the engine is going to be quite doing a brilliant moment out there, folks. If you really want to use the Lamborghini Gallardo, this is the perfect vehicle to be selected to be used to be in the street race discipline in the Live Summit event. Come on, just gonna have to keep 8 things up onto the course. Whoa boy, gonna have to slow down. That's more like it. More speed, more nitro. Looks like this is going to get a little bit halfway there. Just going to have to keep a good power slide drift. Boost it up. Checkpoint clear. Alright, looks like still got this under control. Gonna have to take a few miles to get over to Armalo. Okay, looks like that almost barely had the chance. Gonna have to regain control, and now looks like now entering in onto the Armalo. Gonna have to take the right turn and go straight up to be towards St. Louis. Okay, looks like daily complete. And there you go. Finish line has finally reached for only 3 minutes and 15.637 seconds. Almost by barely having a chance, so this is going to get a little bit halfway there towards Icon 999 to be reached up to be turned into 1000. But I'm so close to get that carbon edition of the Bugatti Chiron because this is going to be quite doing a good moment out there. We're taking a lot of progress after spending a few days to be stacking up with some currency credits for some recommendation on the event bundle. So I'm about to go again in attempt number 2, folks, because this is going to be quite doing a good performance on that Lambo. Super Allegra is going to be the perfect title on that Gallardo.
You're so gonna win this one.
Clearly, this one is fairly well chosen. Gonna have to go faster. This time, full nitro is gonna be saved plenty amount by the pace. Okay, just gonna have to be patient. Still got enough speed, and that one might give a good slight advantage. We'll be going over by the route. Okay, checkpoint clear. 12 seconds onto the gap distance behind. Okay, 50% on the duration nitro. Gonna have to slow down and pass on to the next turn at the right. Okay, just gonna have to expand the mini map and see which area am I at. Okay, still in Central Woods. Just gonna have to keep going faster by taking a good amount of nitro. Better have to save it before it reaches up onto the full capacity. Okay, looks like just gonna have to make a stop until just gonna have to keep revving up on the speed. Pass on to the next point to be close in onto the checkpoints. All clear. Almost there by 70% on the progression. Only 28% to go. Okay, looks like having a little bit deja vu from the first attempt. Okay, it looks like this is going to be having a legend to be received. I have finally made it on Icon 1000. Wow, looks like this is going to be my first time that I just become a new age legend, folks. Clearly, a record set to be achieved by over 100,000. I cannot believe I've been waiting for so long since I've been working so hard to get all kinds of new rides it's going to be putting up onto the collection. Progress is going well out there to be on the silver medal, and that means for only 4 hypercars are now ready to go by the selection. We'll be doing a determination. So I bet this is going to be quite very hard to pick. Alright, so let's see. Maybe this one might give a good mixed event. It's going to be on the Central Special. Will be taking place on Pikes Peak Hill Climb. Hopefully, I should probably have to save it for later. Now, this one might take the next 3 hypercar events. Is going to be quite doing good out there for only 2 followers for only 150,000 to be on the pack exact range. Now, looks like this is going to be doing great out there, folks. So let's see. Taking place on Main Highlands East. That was very good. Hopefully, this one might give the Bugatti Depot with the UDRS Insport Tech. The White Star is about to be ready to take action. going faster and giving a good horsepower will be reached up onto the high limit. Going epic win without having a legendary parts to be putting up as well. So maybe this one might give a good quick presentation. Is about to be taking a lot of good speed on the handling to be reached up onto the experts. So let's go in there, folks. Better make sure this is going to be the first ever hypercar will be going faster by the high rev pace.
1.
Come on, you can do it.
Okay, looks like this is going to get a little bit rough on the hills for taking the first checkpoint. So it looks like we've been done this before. But different hypercars is going to be giving us better ways to go faster by increase the pace by using the nitro. But it will might have to give the epic win for the White Star will be going faster without having a nitro chemist. But I should really rather to have some more hypercar events will be going in onto the hard or ace difficulty. But still, this one might take plenty of patient time whenever it goes rev up onto the limits. Close call onto that turn. Now just gonna have to stay on over to the avenue. But it works perfectly to be as a highway. But it could probably have to take tights and turns to be on the open space. Come on, just gonna have to slow down the pace. Regain that good respawn control for that track only hypercar. Okay, just stay on the inside formation lineup. It's gonna get pretty much difficult if I could probably have to tame it. Okay, that's more like it. Better control, more pace, and waiting time until the nitro will be ready to go. Checkpoint clear. Now just gonna slow down and take that left turn to be right there. So here comes the tricky shortcut and about a few more distance to go. I have to keep an eye out. Almost there. It's not that far. Okay, here it comes. Gonna have to take that shortcut by having a slight advantage. Still takes a little bit of practice, but it will might give 75% to be giving. Almost there. Looks like this one might have to reach up onto the finish line. Here it comes. Last stretch. Better take it. There you go. 150,000 followers earned. And that one might give a good exact stacking up to be on the summary, but almost to be at least, so I have to make sure to skip it to be on the memo. One hypercar complete, only 3 more to go. Now, next up for the recommendation vehicle, that one might have the Porsche 911 GT1 Stratton version will be taking place on Dallas. Looks like this is going to be a very long trip out there, folks. Better make sure this one might putting up with some maximum performance if a legendary parts with the Nitro Chemist will be installed to be giving a record set by the improvement. Same thing as goes for different disciplines to be in the category by the same. But this is going to be giving a nice hyper looking vehicle to be giving a road car version to be in the GT1 category class. So this one might have a good performance to be at 1030 horsepower, top speed at 279 miles per hour. But it may be very long, but that one might have to take longer paces, that one might have to take increased acceleration, and handling will be doing importantly. So let's go in there. Take the starting grid for the GT1 road car, we'll be going in at the ready.
1.
Faster, faster! Seriously, go faster!
Okay, looks like this is going to be on the starting grid to be on the highway. Gonna have to keep an eye out on the progression, folks. It's going to get a little bit much longer. We'll be doing an excellent road trip. Just like the US Speed Tour East, but the different discipline is going to get much higher. We'll be doing some much different earnings along with some currency credits and followers. So I have to take a good look at the interior view. This looks very good to have a nice road car. Is going to be giving a good FIA GT1 regulations back in the late 1990s. But mid 1990s, by the way, but it looks very good to have a nice equipment. Is going to be quite giving a good installment to be putting up with some tachometers. Very good car to be fitted as a road legal version. But it looks very style. But giving a good race car version is going to be quite giving a good competition to be on the track. Only in Gran Turismo 7 on the PS5 and PS4 to be as a cross-gen platform. But it is going to be quite doing brilliant out there whenever the game comes out in the year 2022. As also to become as a 1997 variant for this car will be previewed as a Type 996 generation of the 911. Okay, looks like now going back onto the Avenue straight. Just gonna have to switch back onto the third person view. Hit the nitro, and now pass on to the next checkpoint. Is gonna get much further out there when taking on the highway. Going back onto the road, gonna have to slow down. But this vehicle is a race car slash hypercar. It is going to be quite doing awesome out there to have a nice custom livery design, and even the wing spoiler is going to be included by default. Hopefully, Devil might have a low wing spoiler is going to be putting up with some exterior parts to be installed. And that makes a perfect fine road car. Is going to be giving a good GT1 vehicle to be having a nice performance will be used to be on the show meet. %, on the progression, only 80% to go. Man, looks like this event is going to be very much longer, but this one is perfect for me for taking practice to be in the full walkthrough. Now entered in onto this place. This is going to be quite doing interesting to be explored around places in America. Coastal plains. Now just going to have to take the highway. Will be proceed. Feels like taking the interstate, but that might take a little bit few more miles to go. So how are the opponents doing? 24 seconds onto the distance gap is going to be very much longer. Okay, looks like this is going to be having a full straightaway by having a drag race. Optionally, it looks very good to have this part of the section to be in the drag race. Passing in, checkpoint clear. Now just gonna have to go in and slow down by the next turn. Now we're entered the swamp in the south region of America. So this place is going to be putting up with some nice trees to be as a jungle. So I bet that we might have the swamp is going to be passed by. And there it is. Looks beautiful out there, folks. Taking a hypercar to go places to be explored while racing is going to be the best place out there to enjoy. And now we're coming over to be at the bridge at the Bayou. Here we've got several gators are now swimming around onto the waters of the swamp. But I bet that we might give the best hovercraft will be taking part in the gator rush. Slow it down. Just gonna have to take the exit point to be leaving in. And now we are entering in onto the golf course of the south. And we're about to be reached up onto New Orleans in Bridge City. That looks very good to have a nice highway to be on the high level. Better have to take the ramp. Entered in onto the junction. Arriving in on New Orleans in Lakeview and still continues on to be in the highway. Gonna have to pass through. Halfway there to be stopping at New Orleans, and we're about to be continue on to be in the road. Okay, looks like the nitro is all set and ready to go. But this route that we might have to take the destination towards Miami, folks. I'm sure it does. This is going to be the best road trip to be having a hypercar event from Dallas. Going faster, going much longer. Now, just going to have to take that ramp to be on the right. Okay, looks like just gonna switch back onto the name. And here we are in Tampa, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the NFL. So it's time to go on over to be on the bridge, and we're entered in onto the West Florida coast, part of the Gulf of Mexico in the South region. Moving on and take that checkpoint clear. 8 minutes since the hypercar race event has already begun on the start. Still continues on to take the highway. Gonna have to take the right side. Oh boy. Gonna have to keep a little bit careful. As far as we've been still racing on South Florida coast, and now we're entering in onto Orange Grove. So this is going to get a little bit much longer. If we could probably have to be reached up by 75% on the destination to be passed by. But still currently in 73%. Only 2 more to go to be reached up onto the final checkpoints. Just gonna have to keep rev things up a notch. And now, moving on to take the next turn at the right. And that means the destination to be reached up at Miami is going to be the only finish line when we arrive. So take a good look out there on the city, folks. As you before enter Miami, that one might take the stopping point will be enter in onto downtown whenever it might have to get a little bit closer to be on the other district. But still enter the highway will be continue on, and that means this is going to be giving a next destination will be going off the ramp. We'll be taking on for the exit points. And here we are, folks. Little Havana, part of Miami, is about to be arriving in onto the stopping point by the destination. Still a bit closer to be passed by to be entered in onto the Keys. This is where the finish line is going to be on the rightful spot out there, viewers. Just going to have to keep racing on the highway until you'll be reached up onto the finish line in no time. Now, looks like this is going to be on the enter points. Taking part in the Keys of Florida, we'll be going over to be on the south. So make sure this is going to be staying on over to be on the road, but the braking point is going to be very challenging to be possible. If you're good enough to be reached up by over 100,000 points in the Live Summit event, that one might give a pretty proud successful moment out there to do the expert. Challenging players could probably have to take on the long courses from places to places to places is going to be having some best interesting to be having some good moments out there to be on the replay. So we're almost there, folks. Only 5% to go on the progression, and that means the stopping point to be reached up onto the main destination, so just gonna have to keep going forward to be on the main avenue to be part of the highway. Pass by onto the Aerobatics event, but still not that far. Just gonna have to keep going forward. And here it comes. The finish line is just up ahead onto that town. We'll be going in onto the Key West. There you go. And this is the perfect destination whenever you're going to have to take on Tio in Keys to the City. But it was very good. But hopefully it was a very long trip for having a one hypercar event. Is going to be going much explore out there for having a best place to be race around onto the highway. So good thing that this is going to be quite doing great out there for the Porsche 911 GT1 Stratton version Type 993 is going to be having a long race. Now on to the road to New Orleans for the Bugatti La Voyageur Noire. Hypercar is going to be putting up with some legendary parts to be received as well. But this is going to be the perfect moment. I bet that one might give some bonus sets that one might give a chance. After putting up with some parts to be switched over to a different vehicle, and that means the performance level to be at the maximum at 320 in the top speed of 280 miles per hour with 1750 horsepower is going to be quite good to go. So let's do this, folks. This is going to be pretty fancy and super fast for this hypercar on the Bugatti. Is going to be quite doing much brilliant. This one is very luxury to drive. So let's go faster onto the high limits.
You're gonna win this easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Now this is a very good excellent head start to be in the most finest position in this hypercar. Very fancy and giving a good black color onto that La Voyageur Noire. But look at this at the exhaust, folks. 6 mufflers is super cool. But I cannot believe it. It is super high expensive to this vehicle that every rich people could probably have to try it out. For this main focus, just gonna have to keep going faster by putting up with some epic parts by the chance. But this is gonna be quite giving a good look onto the interior view style. Carbon fiber. Now this is very look out there to have a nice style variation to be as a different similarities from other Bugatti models, just like the Chiron, Veyron, Devo, and the Centodici. And Oh yeah, the Bugatti Centodieci is very brand new to be as part of the 2019 vehicle, was part of the Elite bundle, along with a classic Bugatti vehicle to be labeled as a Hypercar discipline. But this is super brilliant to have that nice vehicle to be introduced in the game, and also to be part of Asphalt 8. Gonna have to keep going faster out there. Checkpoint clear and switch back to a different view. Going on for the uphill. Gonna have to take a little bit recovery. So I bet this will might take the first attempt is gonna get a little bit challenging by the warm-up. Hopefully. So I have to go again in attempt number 2. Okay, looks like progression on 43%. So looks like this is going to be going past by over onto the bayou. Pass by to enter in onto the swamp. Hit the nitro and go straight up onto the full straightaway to be having the most finest upper hand. Now going in onto the bayou, continue on to be in the avenue section onto the straightaway to be in the highway. Okay, that's more like it. Now take the right turn. Proceed as possible to be entered in onto the next route. Moving on to the left turn. Gonna have to make the stopping point at the next right. There you go. Just gonna have to keep rev up the speed. We're almost there, folks, but not that far. And about 85% on the progression to go. Come on, just gonna have to take that push. That part of the turn is very tricky to be going in by the angle. Alright, looks like we're going in onto Angel's Point at New Orleans. French Quarter is now entered in as well. And go straight up onto the finish line. Alright, looks like legendary bundle earned for the Hypercar discipline. So let's take a good look by the outcome summary. Well, maybe not good enough. And the good news is, 7 legendary parts in different categories is going to be quite doing brilliant out there to see it, folks. I can't wait to put it out instead. So right now, only one more event to go, and that means the special is going to be on the Pikes Peak Hill Climb from Motorflix Season 3 and Episode 1 of the US Speed Tour East. This is going to be the only street race discipline to be in the mixed event, folks. So that means I could probably have to switch on over to be in the different parts to be installed with some legendary parts to be needed for the Bugatti Depot. That makes a good news for having a good outcome for putting up with some 7 rewards by the legendary, and that one might take some good organized preparations before we will begin on to the mixed event. So I could probably have to do the example to be used with the GT by Citroen. We'll be putting up with some legendary parts to be switched over onto the Bugatti Depot. Hold on, just make sure to see this is going to be quite going gold. Okay, so it looks like this may be pretty different. But anyway, looks like I just got everything installed, but the different type of dirt road affixes is going to be quite giving a little bit more time to be affected on two types of affixed icons. But anyway, just gonna have to switch back over and do the exchange on the Bugatti Debo. Alright, looks like this is going to be quite doing good as new and switched up for having a new improved effort out there. So onward to the Central Special to be at Pikes Peak International Hill Climb is going to be, wait. Never mind folks. Central is going to be the only event we'll be taking on. The most sprint race will be starting out to be on Santa Fe. Minor details folks. We are racing in on to Central is going to be going in. Alright. Change of plans. Starting point out there for the Bugatti Debo with the UDRS in Sportec. The White Star will be going in to be in the most finest special to be in Central in New Mexico. So let's go in there and take on for the most highest challenge to be in the time attack.
Ready for the U.S. Speed Tour East? Santa Fe, New Mexico. Racing the City Different.
Racing the City Different. Now this is a very good title when racing in New Mexico. Probably have to make sure if I could probably have to get over to Pikes Peak later on by next week. Only in Wednesdays of course. But that one might take the best place to be explored around in New Mexico folks. That one might take a little setback, is going to be giving a good related to it. Alright, looks like this is going to be the similarity for a sprint race. Just like the strange case of 1950s by using the DeLorean. Come on, just gonna have to keep a good handling control. So for the Hypercar planes in the live summon is going to be taking place in New Mexico to be part of the US Speed Tour East. But stage 5 will be starting out from Santa Fe to Pikes Peak. But we'll make sure we'll get to Pikes Peak at any time. Now this corner might be very tricky. Halfway there, after leaving Santa Fe. Gonna have to keep revving up onto the RPM. So I bet if Roadrunner might be coming in, will be past me and he'll have to say beep beep and then dash away. Well, hopefully if Wile E. Coyote is putting up with some plans to capture Roadrunner, well, I bet that you guys may remember watching Looney Tunes. It was very good classic. It was very good cartoon classic for Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Almost there folks. To make the final stretch, we'll be going up.
Past the last checkpoint. The finish line is right ahead to win the stage.
And there it goes. Right past the arrival and all around the USA. 2 motor stars earned, and this is going to be halfway there to be at 100,000 points for only 94,063 points. Make sure I'll accept the exterior part for the Bugatti Debo. But it was very good. So for this whole time in the live summit event, we are taking place in New Mexico to be taking part in stage 5 of the US Speed Tour East. Plus a special is going to be taking place on Central, is going to be having a sprint race without having a circuit. But we did a good job out there viewers. We did a good hypertastic job. Hypercar Planes is finished, and now we're about to be moving on in the next event is going to be taking place in Pikes Peak International Hill Climb for a peak dance. fourth different set of rewards, including the Porsche Cayman GT4 Wops edition from the Flying Germans, is going to be making its return. And also the Rally Yellow YMY tire to be in the comment as a vanity item. But this is going to be quite doing good out there, folks. So make sure finish the event until we're about to be moving on to take on the hill climb of Pikes Peak International Hill. Thank you for tuning in on my video, folks. I hope you enjoy. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads to be turned on, and the links on the description down below if you really want to see more. You can check it out on Instagram, Deviant Art, GT Planet, and other social media platforms if you really want to follow me. And don't forget to support my main project, Vision Total Drama, the next chapter of the Total Drama fan art to support the community. I'll be seeing you guys next time in the live summit event in the Crew 2, and I will see you later in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.